motivation you need, food for thought indeed. Coming from Life Coach D, spiritual nuggets you need to help you succeed. Coming from Life Coach D.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Life Coach D coming at you. And so, in continuation of my 30 for 30 celebration, I wanted to just have some real conversations with just some of the individuals that I had an opportunity to meet over the years. And so, I want to introduce to you Mr. Riley Burns.
Pleasure being here.
So, Riley is one of my mentees that I've met a few years back, and actually I'll let him tell you how we met. But one of the things that's been very pivotal for me in the last 30 years is making sure that my relationships, that when I've met people, went beyond just coaching, or went beyond, not just, but it went beyond knowing just the athlete and actually knowing the person, getting to know the person. So I'm gonna go ahead and let Riley answer in his own way and just kind of share his heart with why we are where we are today. So Riley, I guess the first question I'll ask you is, how do we meet?
I was in high school, so 6-7 years ago. I graduated 2020, so the middle of high school-ish.
I would say more about, believe it or not, it's probably about 8 years ago, 2017.
That's crazy.
Yeah, right.
There's a three-year hiatus. That was my fault.
I'll explain later.
I was in high school. I ran a track athlete at a small school called Maranatha. In one of the league meets, I was introduced by one of my teammates, Noah Monroy. And yeah, he just introduced us, hit it off. I think if I had to guess, it's honestly, memory's a little foggy. If I had to guess, Noah kept dragging me along to hang out. And then we slowly got in contact, phone calls, texts, the whole thing that everyone probably experiences.
Yeah, I think you're right. So would you say Noah was the liaison? Because if I recall, I do remember kind of joking along with you and Noah, because you guys are both really good athletes. So do you remember it being like Noah just kind of saying, come on, or did I interact with you personally? Because I typically do that.
You definitely interacted with me personally. Yeah. Honestly, just so long ago. But the clear memories I have are all of like, we're doing a run, we're hanging out with Noah, and we ended up at your house somehow. Or like, eventually we started doing phone calls one-on-one. I don't really know how that started. I'm sure it was just you texting me, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll call. Yeah, I honestly don't remember too much. But,
yeah. Well, I have pretty good memory, but so I would say that, yeah, it was kind of all of the above. And so one of the things I've always, let's say, prided myself on, but once again, going back to just having a relationship with people outside. But I knew it was something about Riley that I wanted to connect with. And I think part of that, and I was sharing this with him earlier, was that I was a D1 coach. And so he's such a phenomenal athlete that when I saw somebody at a D1 level, it was like, okay, yeah, I can connect with this person, because at that time I was at a D4, D5 school, right? We D5, right?
Small school.
So, oh my God. So that's just a whole nother story. When you're used to very, very high competitive athletes, you know, that's what you're used to. So that's kind of what stuck out with both him and Noah. At any rate, what would you say, what would be one of your fondest memories?
I think fondest or funnest? Like,
both.
Okay.
So something you remember, right? Okay, so let's say fondest, or something you remember well, but then we can go into something the funniest.
I think something I'll always remember well is definitely like I took a 3-year hiatus where I didn't call or text. And then the first time I called, I was like, it was like 2 a.m. I was in Arizona, so it was like 3 a.m. It was late. It was real late.
Sure. I'm up editing videos.
He even texted me. I saw him respond for XYZ reason. And yeah, the second I called, he was like, there was no animosity, there was nothing, no like, where you been? It was just like, what's going on? How you doing? And like, it was just sheer love, and like, it was like, I felt like I didn't deserve it, and it was all love, and I always remember it.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, I was telling Riley, back with that. I won't go into too much detail, but I understand the purpose, reason the season is a huge part of life, and so during that time, I maybe felt like, okay, maybe the season or the purpose was up. But obviously, here we are today, probably a year later now. But so that's one of the memories. Okay, what are one of the funniest things you remember?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. If you're a funny dude, I don't. I'm not good at recalling stories. I got bad memory.
Yeah, gotcha.
Every day's fun. I don't know. Every time I call, a lot of times. I live in LA, so I don't live in San Diego right now. So we do a lot of phone calls, and a lot of phone calls we just yap, and it's just fun to see where it goes. Today we were doing riddles. Riddles suck.
Riley got mad at me. He's like, "Oh, I hate this."
Riddles are not fun.
Yeah, so I guess what I would say, I think one of the things I remember, this is funny. I don't think Riley remembers because they were asleep, but I remember we went up. They were competing in LA at one time, and I'll never forget. I was with a group of runners. Riley was a part of this group, and they had all went to sleep because they had to get up and run. I'm a night owl, so I was up, just kind of fiddling around, probably reading or doing something, and out of nowhere, I heard something hit the ceiling. I didn't know what kind of creature it was, but that thing grabbed something else and it drug across the ceiling, and I jumped up like I'm getting ready to leave here. And I went up outside the room to look. Everybody else was quiet, like, am I the only one that just heard something feel like it was just dying on the ceiling in front of me? And so that's one of the funniest things I remember. Like, you guys were out though, so you remember I told you guys the next day, like, did you guys hear that? There was something going on outside. Yeah, so that was when you guys were all where were you running? I think it was at Mount Sac.
Okay.
Well, anyway, so nevertheless, so I would say that I think the biggest thing for me, and just the different people that I meet over the years, is the longevity. Being able to watch, a young man grow to a man now who get ready to finish school, and, with a degree, and just being able to watch that matriculation is huge for me. So, Riley, if there was something that you could share with people, knowing that this is my 30th year of coaching, my 30th year of community services education, as it pertains to you and I and where we matriculated to, or even just something maybe you've learned from me, what would that be?
Honestly, a big thing is just show love, give energy that's good. Like, people reciprocate energy. If you show up with good energy, you're trying to meet the person, you're trying to just show genuine, honest care, you're trying to keep the conversation real, you're not beating around the bush. If you kind of just move and operate in a way that comes out of authenticity, it'll come back to you. You'll bear good fruit. I think I kind of see that in your life, so it's kind of I mimic that. Good things will come in my life.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you, Riley. Till you guys hear and see me again, obviously we'll be doing this throughout the year because we're going to celebrate this thing the whole year. Until you guys hear from me again, I want you to remember your lives are very valuable. Much love. God bless. Peace be the journey. Signing off.
Welcome to the channel, everybody. Like and subscribe.